Insatiable Season 1 was a bit of a mess, so how does Season 2 pan out? Let's get into it. Hey guys, it's Kristen, and today we are talking about Season 2 of Netflix's series Insatiable, starring Debby Ryan and Dallas Roberts. For years, Patty was bullied for her weight, but then an accident leaves her skinny and out for revenge. This season we follow Patty and Bob, each struggling with how they view themselves. Meanwhile, a pageant killer is on the loose. Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on Season 2 of Insatiable. Also, just so you know, there will be some spoilers in this video, so you have been warned. Following Season 1, I thought Insatiable was really messy and all over the place. It felt like they tried to cram as much as they possibly could into this season because they were afraid they might not get picked up for a second one. And I think that actually really made the black comedy feel less polished. One of my biggest issues is that I felt like they didn't really give us enough time to get to know Patty before her accident, so it kind of made it hard to connect with her after the fact. It was sort of like we were missing a foundation. But despite all that, I was still very intrigued by the cliffhanger they set up, so I was happy to see that in this season it's much smoother and well-paced. We continue to follow these big mysteries that Season 1 set up, like what happened to Stella Rose, will Magnolia remember what happened to Kristen, what will happen with Bob's relationships, where does Patty's insatiable rage come from, and they also set up some new mysteries like this crazy detective and a pageant killer. So this new season they really start to develop more the campy, kitschy, dark comedy of the show, and I think it actually really starts to come together. So much so that it makes me wish that Season 1 had a bit of a better setup, because I think it would have made Season 2 even more impactful. I really enjoyed learning about some of the other characters outside of Bob and Patty this season, like seeing Magnolia's journey in getting her memory back, or seeing her explore her feelings as a biracial woman, or even her kind of creating this literally black girl magic show. I think she had a really great arc this season, and I really enjoyed her as a character. We also got to learn about Dixie and the truth behind her adoption, as well as meet her very handsome pre-law, pre-med stripper brother. And I really enjoyed that storyline because I think we did get to see some nice moments between Dixie and her new family, as well as with the fact that with her brother Henry we're continuing to see a rise in recognizing, you know, handsome Asian men in Hollywood. There's like a stereotype around, you know, Asian men not being handsome, and I love that we are getting to see Hollywood is really breaking that mold lately. We follow Nani's journey, discovering that, you know, she kind of wants to be a cop like her dad, and we get to learn more about Patty and Bob's families and kind of, you know, the situations with their own, you know, mom and dad, and I think that really helped us dive deeper into their backgrounds and their stories. Now let's get into Bob and Patty, as they are like kind of the crux of the show. What I think is so interesting about them is that they both spend a lot of this season kind of looking for a sign from God to know that they're on the right path. When something goes wrong, they instantly think they're bad people, they hurt the people around them, they don't deserve anything good in life. They feel like by winning a crown or becoming mayor that these wins will give them a clean slate and it'll wipe away, you know, the sins of their past. And I think with Patty specifically, we see her really struggling with different types of addiction and trying to figure out what it is that makes her so insatiably hungry. She struggles with eating, but that's not even the real issue. We see her eating when she loses control of her emotions. But why is that? Is it because her mom was never really there for her? Is it because she doesn't know her dad? Is it the guilt from the bad things that she's done? Is it an insecurity about losing a boyfriend? We see her deal with flashbacks of the crimes and murders that she's committed in the past, but what does that mean? And we finally get to learn the truth. Regina Sinclair is the pageant killer and also a kidnapper, and has probably done way worse. She frames Bob, who ends up in prison, while our new Miss American lady Patty vows to prove his innocence. Oh, and you know, also plans to get revenge by hunting down and murdering Regina. This is where everything really starts to come together, and I think we even get to see that Bob's kind of afraid of this sort of monster that he's helped create. Throughout the season, Patty has been on and off going to Overeaters Anonymous, where she's been told that, you know, if you want to recover, you have to be honest. And in the last few moments of the season, Patty realizes that the reason she's been so insatiably hungry is because she's been trying to push down the truth. The truth being, she likes killing, and she doesn't plan on stopping.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I do like it. Maybe that's why I couldn't stop eating. I was pushing down the truth.
What truth?
Nothing tastes as good as killing feels.
Now I think there's probably more to it than that, but when you dig deeper, every time Patty killed someone, there was a legitimate reason behind it. Patty saved Magnolia from Kristen, Stella Rose kidnapped her, the situation with Gordy was more of an accident, even though that guy is sick, and she saved her mom from drug dealers. I mean, realistically, all of these situations, Patty is defending herself and others and trying to save their lives. It actually brings to mind the idea of Dexter, which the creator of this show, Lauren Gussis, also worked on and kind of references in regards to the, creation of Insatiable. It's really interesting to dive into this idea of like, is Patty evil? Is she a good person doing bad things? And seeing the struggle that she has within herself about these things. And I think Patty is a character that it's not cut and dry that she's bad and irredeemable. So where will this show go for a potential season 3? I mean, with 6 bodies already under her belt, will Patty go like full-on serial killer? I think that with her addictive personality, there's definitely a chance that she might lean into something like that. Killing instead of eating, maybe, killing bad people kind of like a Dexter, which is honestly very interesting because I don't think we've seen very many female characters like this. But also hopefully coming to terms with the fact that she needs to be accountable and that she's the one responsible for her actions, because I think Patty is always very focused on herself, but in sort of a more negative way, not like a self-care kind of way, but more of a, I'm the victim, oh no, now I'm a terrible person. Creator Lauren Gussis actually calls Insatiable a Frankenstein type of story and like a cautionary tale. Like Bob is responsible for what Patty is like because he found a pretty girl and thought because she's pretty on the outside she must be fine on the inside, when she's not. I think Patty needs to work on fixing her insides, which is something we haven't really seen her try to do yet. She kind of thinks that all these other forces are going to come in and fix it for her. If you guys like this one, you can check out more of my reviews right over here, and I'll catch you in my next video. See ya!